Oh, yeah. It's bad to the bone. Oh, you know it. It's time. It's time. It's time for the Ralph's Opinion Show. I am Ralph Williams, and welcome to the program today or tonight here. We're here on Thursday once again tonight because last night was my birthday, and I decided that I wasn't going to put the show on last night so I could enjoy my birthday. And if you notice, I'm not wearing my shades right now because there's been some small improvement in my eyes. So I'm able to, with the light and everything, so I'm able to wear my regular glasses. All right, I want to welcome you tonight to the program. If it's your first time here, we are here usually, like I said, every Wednesday from 7:30 to 8:30. First, we start off with Ralph's Opinion. We talk national issues, and we talk some, just a general talk of some national stuff. Right now, the biggest talk right now is all the shootings going on in this country. Spirit Airlines, $374 million in debt. And also, don't forget, we also need to talk about, of course, as we do every single Ralph's Opinion show, the good, the bad, and the ugly of President Trump as well. And you know, the ugliest thing right now is the government shutdown. And we'll be talking about that as we go along here on the Ralph's Opinion Show. All right, we're sponsored by Mata Heating and Air Conditioning, 724-201-0500. Mata Heating and Air Conditioning, and that's who we are sponsored by. And they are our studio sponsor. We're here at Studio 10 in Berlin, Maryland, right outside of Ocean City. And we're also sponsored by Mike Dotson Realty. Speaking of Ocean City Realtor, 410-596-1681. That is the Ocean City Realtor, Mike Dotson. Okay, one other thing here. We have a new sponsor, which happens to be Carey Insurance. Here they are, the Carey Insurance Group. Call Steve, 302-642-6001. That is Steve. Call him at Carey Insurance. He'll handle all of your insurance needs in the Delmarva area, which is Delaware, Maryland, around the Ocean City area, Rehoboth Beach, all the Delaware, Delmarva area. That number again, 302 area code 642-6001. The Carey Insurance Group. Call them today. Call them tomorrow. Call them. Get on the phone. Call Carey. Any type of insurance, flooding insurance, homeowners insurance, car insurance, anything you need. They are the people. Steve is the guy to call at 302-642-6001. All right. Okay. It's great to be here with you again tonight, and we have plenty to talk about. And then my monitor, Pensman Sports, is here. He says, let's see here. He says, "Hey Ralph," it says it's the little doing the okay, yeah, I got you there. All right, yeah, I know you got the playoff game tonight. All right, so Pensman will be doing the playoff game tonight. Tune into his channel, Pensman Sports, on the on his YouTube channel, Facebook, and also on Twitter X. Don't forget to tune into that tonight as well. All right. Let's get this show going here tonight. Let's talk about this guy who decided to wham a truck into the Mormon church. Let's talk about the person who, all across the country, in Atlanta, shooting at a prison or a holding facility for ICE people. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about Texas. Let's talk about everything. Let's talk about this. The killing, the murdering, a hit and run accident. All right. Made national attention. A hit and run accident. Okay. Why? Because the kid was angry because him and his girlfriend broke up. He's a teenage boy. All right. In Pittsburgh, there was a situation where bullying was involved with Pittsburgh Public Schools last week. And there was a shooting there at the school. Why? The kid had no choice. What are we doing to our youth? Are we teaching them anything? Are we doing anything at all to help our youth? Parents aren't doing their job. Okay. In today's world, do you really believe that parents are doing their job? Are they doing it effectively enough? Are they doing it the way they need to do it? Are they doing it? Teachers? Okay. Are they not trained? What's the problem here? That's what I want to know. All right. Everyone has a choice. Absolutely. Cyberuski. You do not chop chop. All right, whatever. What's going on? Well, we'll tell you what's going on. The Ralph's Opinion Show is going on, Cyberuski, but thank you for tuning in. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, X, and the Kick platforms. All right. So here we are, everybody. Let's talk about it tonight. Is parenting where it needs to be? That's what I want to know. I know a lot of folks who are good parents. And I once dated a girl who, same to you there, Brandon, thank you. Same to you. I know people who are great parents. I dated a woman who was a poor parent. Okay. I've seen poor parenting. I've seen good parenting. I've seen all kinds of parenting. But when are we going to get a grip on our youth? When are we going to do something here? And it starts with mental health. It starts with parenting. It starts with support. Our youth today are lost. They have no support, none whatsoever. No, some parents, some aren't. Exactly, Pensman. Correct. Okay? It's a bad situation. Our country is a broken country right now. And I will admit, I voted for Donald Trump. I did that because, I have some media colleagues in Pittsburgh who say that people like me voted for Donald Trump because we wanted lower egg prices, lower gas prices. No, that's not it. Because the alternative was not any better than what we have now, believe it or not. Okay? We need to get these progressives out of this country and stop this nonsense. And the progressives are sitting there crying to each other, crying out about how this, that, and whatever criminals are being mistreated and all this other stuff, and immigrants are being mistreated. All this person's being mistreated. That person, don't break the law. Where's our parenting at? When the progressives are out here doing this, that is exactly why we have this problem. We need to get rid of these progressives in this entire country. All right? Okay? That's what needs to happen. Why do you think President Trump is sending the National Guard to all these cities? Because they have progressive Democrats who have no idea how to run their town. They have no idea what they're doing. They have these radical, stupid things. We cried and cried and cried. Why do we have an 80-year-old man like Joe Biden as our president? And now, all of a sudden, we have an 80-year-old man as our president. But that 80-year-old man might have been smarter than these progressives that are out here because he was a progressive. And he listened to all these younger progressives who are out here, oh, woe is me, because somebody got beat up like George Floyd. And right away, we're crying civil rights. We're crying this. We're crying that. Okay? And now you're complaining about a guy who's trying to fix our country. And now it's dividing our country up because you don't want to cooperate and work with the man. All right. We're going to get into the government shutdown as part of the good, the bad, and the ugly of Trump this week, because that is butt ugly right now. It's looking very bad for President Trump, and it's looking bad for the Republicans. It's looking bad for the Democrats. Everybody here is at fault and they have egg on their face. It's that simple. All right. Okay. Sports Web says, read that. Yeah, mental health. Absolutely. There needs to be mental health. Instead of closing down state hospitals, how about funding them? How about funding mental health? How about helping with mental health? Thank you, Pensman. I always hit it on the head. Pensman's right. Okay? The progressive Democrats have ruined this country, and then you want to blame President Trump for this. They ruined it with mental health. They ruined it with the homeless. They ruined it all across the country. And then you're going to say something when President Trump comes up with a national federal homeless law. And we got kids out here running ex-girlfriends over. We got kids out here shooting. We got another kid out here running around whamming trucks into the Mormon church, an ex-military. And he blew the church up. Okay? In Utah. He burned the church up. All right? I don't care what religion you are. That is the Lord's home. And you're going to do that to somebody. I get the Mormons can be a little strange. They, everybody has their way of religion. My pastor said that once in a sermon. Everybody has a way of what religion they want to practice. Catholics, Presbyterians, Methodists, Mormons, Baptists, whatever. Buddhist, Muslim. All right? It's all about the Lord. It's not about Allah. It's all about the Lord. It's about God. It's about Jesus Christ, our King. All right? All right. SportsWeb says, hang on a minute here. I got to get something a little bit easier here to work with. What is also annoying is that the constant negative comments from the left instead hang on a minute. Instead of uniting the country, they are dividing it. You know what? You know what, Brandon? You hit that right on the head. Right on the head. Okay? Brandon is reiterating what I've been talking about for years on this program, on the way I see it, on all my national perspective shows, is that why in the world do you think we're at where we are today? Parenting has a lot to do with this too. Schools. What is schools doing? What are schools doing? Absolutely zero. You got school board members crucifying head coaches of football teams because their poor little baby didn't get in the game. You got mothers in Pittsburgh at a hockey game going around punching referees, and then goes and gets this high-priced lawyer out there who says it's self-defense. And then who do you blame? The captain of the ship, President Trump. The captain of the ship, but the people and the citizens of this country don't want to work with the man. The captain, the coach, whatever, is only as good as the players. And right now, the players are not very good. And you are the players. Some of you out there, all right, are the players. All right. Another butt ugly thing tonight I'm going to talk about with President Trump is Robert Morse. And I don't mean the university in Pittsburgh either. Voted a bill a few months ago, says Pensman, that when Joe was in and can't agree on it, don't make sense, Americans. Need the Medicare, not outsiders until, yes, exactly. Giving immigrants and outsiders and people in this country that are not here legally, they want to push for the Medicare and Medicaid. No, earn it. Okay? Earn it. It's that simple. Exactly. Pensman says it properly. It has nothing to do with what's going on in this country. We do. We as citizens of this country have a lot to do with that. All right. Let's get into the good, the bad, and the ugly of Trump tonight. The good? Well, I'll tell you one thing that is good. Pete Hegseth, the defense secretary, sat down with all the generals to outline layoffs in the military or cutback or whatever. The main objective of this meeting was to, and in a way, I don't blame them. You need to be physically fit to be in the military. He said you got generals walking around with pot bellies and all that stuff like that, and they're not physically fit to handle things. All right. And Brandon has a point here too. Okay. All right. The man, President Trump, is trying everything he can to do what he can to fix this country, and we're going to sit there and not work with them because we're lazy. Why? Because you got to get up and work? Is that what the problem is? And you teach your kids to go out and shoot everybody? You can't even walk the wrong direction and somebody wants to shoot you. That is our mentality now. Oh, but we're going to blame Trump for that too. My toilet explodes in my house. I'm just using this as an example. That didn't happen. What? I'm going to blame President Trump because my toilet exploded? All right. What I'm saying to you is that this is the situation here. All right. All right. Pensman, don't forget to tune in to him tonight for Game Time for the New York Yankees. He's going to be doing the play-by-play or a watch party or a watch kind of thing that he does online on his YouTube channel, Facebook page. Okay. Tune in to Pensman. All right. Brandon from the Sports Nuts. You know? Exactly. Exactly. Love thy neighbor. You ever see the show Neighborhood Wars on A&E? There's no love in those neighbors. We love our neighbor here in my plan. I don't have a problem with my neighbors. We all work together. Thank you, Pensman. All right. The good, the bad, and the ugly of Trump. Let's get back to that here. Okay. Robert Morse. Those of you who don't know who Robert Morse is, and again, it's not the university. Robert Morse is a pastor of a church called Gateway Church in Oklahoma. Well, Robert Morse is having some issues with a situation where he was involved in sexually assaulting women back in the 80s. All right. Robert Morse, or the reverend or the pastor or whatever he calls himself, is on the religious committee of Donald Trump, of President Trump. Okay. That's ugly. That's really ugly. But again, let's start off with the good. The military sitting down, they don't want fat generals, they want people physically fit. I get that. That's a good thing. And I think they're right about that. They should be ready to fight, physically capable and ready to fight. Our military has kind of gotten a little on the lazy side lately because Biden didn't want to send troops to go anywhere. All right. And I know it's war can be a problem, and it is. But you know, the Bushes, they thought war was good for the economy. And it was. I worked in a steel mill where we worked 3 shifts to make springs for tanks for the Persian Gulf War, the first one. Okay. All right. As soon as the war was over, we slowed down a little bit. All right. And I get a lot of people don't want war. Nobody wants war. But sometimes war does good for the economy. It creates manufacturing jobs because you got to get tanks out. You got to get equipment moving. You got to get this. You got to get that going on. Another good piece of good news that I like is President Trump is going after all the drug cartels. Good. I'm glad. We need to do something because if we don't do something, nobody else is. These countries that have made so much money off America because of drugs, it's pathetic. The bad, okay, is this government shutdown. It's not only bad, it's ugly. this government shutdown. Just fighting between each other, and Trump blaming the Democrats and the Democrats blaming the Republicans and the Republicans blaming the Democrats. We can't get along. You got people crossing party lines like Senator John Fetterman of Pennsylvania. He even said his own party's causing problems. Okay? There are some things that might need to be, tweaked a little bit here. And I agree with the Republicans that it's sometimes giving out everything to everybody is starting to cost money. Why do you think we have a deficit in some perspective? All right? Take a look at that once. Take a look at it. All right. Let's go on Facebook Live here, see who's on. So I mean, just think about it for a minute. Where we're at in this country. All right? Where we are at. Yeah, that's where we are. Because that is exactly what's happening. All right? The bad for Trump, for President Trump, is all this ICE stuff that's going on. People shooting at ICE people shooting at the FBI, people shooting at an ATF. Well, there's a situation in Aliquippa, Pennsylvania, where an ATF officer was there to serve a warrant on an 18-year-old kid, and he shot at him. He shot at the ATF officer. And what happened? We'll talk about that on the way I see it coming up at 8 o'clock. Okay? Coming up at 8 o'clock, a little after 8 o'clock. Because I have to get off the air early here from here. All right? So just remember this. And remember the good, the bad, and the ugly of Trump this week. The good, the military. He now wants to stop the generals from having pot bellies and all that other stuff. Nothing against fat people. I was fat once. Still am a little bit heavy, but I'm not as heavy as I once was. I had to lose a lot of weight so I can get my surgeries. I had to lose a lot of weight because of my diabetes. Okay. So, I don't have a problem with fat people, but I don't know if they can survive in the military, especially in the infantry. Okay. Another good thing, Trump's going after these drug cartels. That's great. The bad, the government shutdown, this big, beautiful bill that's not working. It's going to hurt a lot of people. The tariffs are not working. So for some, it's not working. For others, yeah, everything's great. All right. The midterms are coming up. Republicans could get voted out. Then President Trump really will not have anybody to work with. And finally, the ugly. Robert Morse. That's the ugly right there. The religious guy. The man who had a huge church, Gateway Church up in Oklahoma, huge congregation. And in the 80s, he decided to sexually assault, touch, or do whatever to some women. All right. One has already came forward, and there's probably more. Okay. And that doesn't bode well for President Trump. The ugliness of this government shutdown. That's ugly as well. The ugliness of some of these countries who are frustrated with us because of these tariffs. But again, they've been ripping us off for years in the trade war. All right. All right. Just a few announcements here. Real quick. All right. First, tune into my friends at the Sports Nuts, Brandon Keeler. Tuesdays and Fridays, they do shows. They have a great, they do college picks. And they also talk numerous sports. Great guests on the show. I was on it, so that includes me as well. Tiger Stripes Media with Brian Pettit. And the, hang on a minute. Let me see where I got. Yeah, there we go. All right. Yeah, it's the same thing there. Yep. I don't know what I did with with Brian's banner. Hope I didn't knock it out. Oh, there it goes right there. Sorry about that. There we are. Brian's banner, Tiger Stripes Media with Brian Pettit. He does some great stuff on his programs. Like and subscribe, tune in, share. Also, don't forget to follow him on Twitter X. Follow me on Twitter X and also on my YouTube channel, Facebook, Pensman Sports. Last but not least, there he is. He's doing something tonight. The Yankees are in the playoffs. He's doing something tonight. All right. He's doing some games. He's on the post-game show with me when the Steelers have a game. All right. All right. All right. Let's go into this Saturday's lineup. It's the triple header. Ralph Williams Saturday is back. And let me see if I can find the banner here. Not sure that I can. Let's see what we got here. No, that's not it. Oh, actually, well, no, that's more for later on. All right. And here's my schedule. All right. Saturdays, the Ralph Williams, Tony Moreno show on 1250 The Answer. 92.5 on the FM dial. Ralph Williams, Tony Moreno, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. 1250 The Answer, pgh.com. Okay. And then at later on at 2 o'clock p.m. on 1250 The Answer as well is the Ralph Williams, Smoking Jim Frazier, Claudia Rosano, Luther Dupree, and the Sports Corner radio show with me, Ralph Williams, Smoking Jim Frazier, Claudia Rosano, Luther Dupree. We have a lot to talk about, including the Steeler-Minnesota game, the Pitt-Louisville game, the Pirates, the end of their lousy season as usual. Don't forget to tune into that. And then don't forget about the new college football show, which I thought I had that, but I don't, but I have this. The college football show every Saturday at 10 a.m., YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, X, Kick Network, and the Huddle Sports Network. We talk about college football. And this week, not this week, but next week, Smoking Jim Frazier will be joining us. It's me, Pensman Sports, Brian Pettit, Leo Haggerty, and Smoking Jim Frazier next week. This Saturday, it'll be myself, Brian Pettit, and Pensman and Leo Haggerty. All right. All right. I'm Ralph Williams. This has been Ralph's Opinion. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned. The way I see it will be next. Thank you. Have yourself a good night, and please be safe.
The low rider. The low rider is a little higher. Low rider, drives a little slower. low rider, the real goer. Hey. Low rider, every street, yeah. Low rider, you don't wanna meet, yeah. Don't use no gas now. Low rider, don't drive too fast. A little trip, take a little trip, take a little trip and see. Take a little trip, take a little trip, take a little trip with me.
When we start to spin boys and men. From my friends, we kick some ass. Way to hit the stage. What to do, man, baby, and I said, we're still kicking. We did all of this to the right. Give it a shot. Sits down, she's strapped on the side. Her folks like me, singing the meals, whatever the wind like men like me. Inflation, I'm in flight. When I feel like winter's dying, someday soon will be my turn. Is it worth money's burning it? Playing for me, whatever the way for men like me. It's burning it. Someday soon will be my turn. Is it worth money's burning it? Seeing to me it's whatever the way for men like me.
Green shirt, blue shoes, and I don't know what I'm going to do. Still through, like that. You be the one. I'm really crazy about a shot that man. Oh, what? Rain. I miss a single thing. Love rings. Yeah. When I step out, I'm gonna do you in. They color running to the fast as you can. They go crazy about a shotgun man. Top coat, top hat, I don't wear it 'cause my wallet's bad. That's it, white glove, looking sharp, looking for leather. They come running to the back of the cab. Crazy about a shotgun
Live and easy, loving free. Even right, I can never leave you be. Take a side, don't need reason, don't need right. Do go down for the time. Gonna be there too.
Welcome to another edition of The Way I See It with your host, Ralph Williams. And now, without further ado, Ralph Williams.
All right, we're back here for the Way I See It portion of the Ralph's Opinion, The Way I See It show. Thank you for being patient with me here. Had a couple of things going on here, and I misplaced my glasses. I had to go take care of something. And now we're back here, and I hope you enjoyed the music I was playing for you until I was able to get back. All right, now we're here for our second part of our 1 hour, 2 shows, 1 hour of The Way I See It and the Ralph's Opinion show. We started off with Ralph's Opinion, and now we're getting into The Way I See It. All right. The way I see it here is, of course, we have our studio sponsor, Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. 724-201-0500 Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. You ought to call Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. They are studio sponsors, and we're here at Studio 10 in Berlin, Maryland. And also we are sponsored by Mike Dotson Realty, 410-596-1681. That's 410-596-1681. Mike Dotson Realty, Ocean City, Maryland. 20 years in the real estate business. Give him a call. He'll help you with any kind of real estate that you're looking for in the Ocean City area. And also, it's especially in the Delmarva area, which is Delaware and Maryland, as we say here in the Ocean City area. All right. And also, we have a new sponsor, Carry Insurance. As soon as I get this off the air here, there we go. Well, that's my plaque from last year. I was given a plaque for media excellence by the Achieving Greatness Award. So in Allegheny County. So why not? I mean, haven't put it up for a while. So there you go. All right, there it is. Carry Insurance Group. Call them to call Steve 302-642-6001. That number again is 6201. That's 302-642. 6001. Steve at Carry Insurance Group. Give him a call today. If any kind of insurance you need in the Delmarva area, give Steve a call. All right. Okay. Now we're here for the second part of our show, and I'm sorry if I deterred some of you away. I at least made up for the time with some great music for you, some great classic rock music there, because I had to take care of something, and so therefore I had to excuse myself. So that is probably one of the reasons why, that I had to get up and go. So sorry about that. I had to take care of something that happened, and I had to take care of it. So, all right, let's talk about what's been going on in the Ocean City, Delmarva area. This is interesting here. All right, in Delaware, and I believe it's Milton. No, I'm sorry, Sussex County. They want to build a new retail establishment. They want to put a Costco in there. They want to put a grocery store and some other businesses. So the people in this little town in Sussex County here, they want to go and complain because of traffic. Okay. But they're the ones who in some perspective, and Sports Nuts, Brandon Keeler, welcome back for the second half of the show. Thank you for staying patient here, because I had to, it says here, great show, Ralph. All right. Thank you very much. All right. So now they're crying because they don't want this mall here. They're saying it's going to cause too much traffic. It's going to cause too much congestion getting in and out of town. Let me ask you this question. Do you have enough jobs there? Do you have your teenage kids? Do they need to work? Yeah. Got Costco. You got Target. You got a few other stores that are interested in this site in Sussex County, Delaware. And what do you want to do? You want to complain. You don't want job development. Oh, it's too much traffic. Well, you know what? Doesn't that boost the economy? taxes, job. See, what I spoke about in the Ralph's Opinion show is exactly what we have in this country today. Backwards thinking. All right. Why would you chase away Target? Why would you chase away Costco? Why would you chase away any of those businesses? And it has nothing to do with taking away from any small business. Okay. There's plenty of those. This is vacant farmland that is not being used, that has been sold to the county, and they want to get it on their tax rolls. In order to do that, you have to develop something. So you'll be the first one to complain when what? Your taxes are going up. You'll be the first one to complain. Oh, man, we don't have a store. I got to drive 50 miles to get somewhere. You'll be the first one to complain, okay, about this, that, and whatever, because you didn't approve of this. All right? That's the way I see it tonight about that. Next, Ocean City, Maryland. Coming up this weekend is the Country Calling. All right? And I don't want to hear no complaining coming from the businesses that they didn't make any money. You know what? I don't want to hear it. I just don't. And then at the end of October, you have the Sunrise Festival or the sun, whatever, to celebrate the fall season. Halloween's coming up. Christmas. I don't want to hear no complaining that you didn't make no money this summer. You would have if you didn't charge a fortune for hotel rooms. You would have if your business didn't charge double at the May Rock Festival. Okay? But they got these two callings right. The music calling that they just had last week and the country calling coming up this weekend. The reason I said they got it right was because it wasn't free. It was tickets. So if you bought a ticket, which made the price go down for stuff at the boardwalk, where in May, they were charging double. They ran out of food. Beer was being charged double. Hotel rooms were $1,800 a night in some places and things like that. That's disgusting. I've been barking about that since I got down here. And before I got down here, I was barking about that. I've been saying, going on and on about it. And you know what the funny part about all this, everyone, is nobody cares. Nobody. Nobody sees this like I do. Okay? No one sees it like I do. Why? I guess you figure that if you're going to go to Ocean City and have a good time, you might as well spend your money. But why? Okay? But why? That's my question. And I know what you're thinking out there. Oh, Ralph, you have problems. I don't have a problem with businesses. What I have a problem is when you stick your hand in my pocket and you take more than what you really should. You understand? That's when I have a problem. Okay? All right? That's when I have a problem. And now the lifeguards are gone for the summer. The beach patrol, which means we're going to have people out here diving in the ocean that don't understand or don't watch the news or don't pay attention when they say there's a wind warning, the waves are bad, or what they are. We have storms coming up the coast. Okay? And nobody knows it because nobody's paying attention to it. Okay? I like Ocean City at this time of the year. There's nobody around. Everybody went home. Ocean City is a seasonal town in most cases. But you can make enough as a business if you don't overcharge people. And a lot of people are not coming to Ocean City. They're going to Myrtle Beach. They're going on cruises. They're going to the Bahamas. Okay? It's cheaper to do that than it is to come to Ocean City, and that's bad. That's bad for business. All right? That is bad for business. And I'm going to keep on this until Rick Meehan, the mayor, does something about this. Something has to be done to stop this. This is insane. All right? It's very insane. But then on the other hand, I hear people saying, well, there's more people moving into Ocean City now than ever before. Yeah, but that's because it's safe here. That doesn't give you the right as a crook to start coming down here because you think it's safe because our police do their job. Our police are not handcuffed. Our police are not given rules that we can't follow, like, oh, just let the homeless person walk away and don't get him any help. Okay? That's where we are today. That's the way I see it. Aliquippa, Pennsylvania. It's in Beaver County. And I want to talk about this today. As I mentioned in Ralph's opinion, I'm tired and tired and tired and tired. And what I mean by I'm tired is I'm tired of these people whose 18-year-old son gets killed by an ATF officer because they fired a weapon at him, protesting and getting angry and getting upset and getting frustrated. All right. Well, you shouldn't have shot my kid. Well, maybe if your kid didn't shoot at the ATF officer, your kid wouldn't have got shot. And I know what you're thinking. Ralph, you're insensitive. Ralph, you have no idea. Yeah, I do have an idea. Because I saw somebody get shot in my apartment building in Pittsburgh. So please don't sit there and say to me that you think I don't know what people go through. I heard it. SWAT team killed this guy. And of course, his girlfriend or wife or whatever she was to him screamed and hollered at a SWAT officer. And she's lucky she was in Pittsburgh, because if it was another SWAT officer in another city, I would guarantee you that SWAT officer probably would have arrested her. Crying the blues, going on and on. He's a father. He got kids. You shouldn't have killed him. He was off his meds. Well, we don't know that. We don't know that. The parents knew. The mom knew. She was too busy taking drugs. The grandma knew. She was too busy. Oh, that's my grandson. I can't do that. Okay? 18-year-old kids shooting at an ATF officer in Aliquippa, Pennsylvania. And the mayor there is trying to develop Aliquippa to bring in more people to get rid of this crime element. And what does this 18-year-old kid do? And then the father's there at a protest going on and on. My kid shouldn't have got shot. Well, maybe if your kid didn't have a gun and didn't shoot at the ATF officer when they were looking for him for a warrant for his arrest, which he shouldn't have been in jail in the first place, you failed as a parent. I talked about this on the Ralph's Opinion Show. And I was going to save this example for right now because here we are again. Bad parent. My kid didn't do that. Oh, my kid was a good kid. He wouldn't do that. You don't know what it's like. No, I don't know what it's like because, first of all, I really don't have kids. All right, that's the first problem. The second problem is I do understand it. And the third thing is, if you would do your job as a parent and stop your child from getting a gun, maybe that wouldn't have happened. Okay? All right? That's the way I see it tonight. Speaking of Pennsylvania, they don't have a budget. It's the same thing as the federal government right now in Pennsylvania. They're fighting over stupid stuff. And it's Josh Shapiro's fault, the governor, because he promised the Republicans that he was going to work with them, bipartisan now, working with the other side. He was going to work with some of these people, okay, and go on and on and on about how he was going to do this and that for education, and he wasn't going to make cuts, and he was going to he made some cuts in education. Every time you come up here with that, why don't you go away? All right. Anyway, okay. It has nothing to do with the topics I'm talking about. Don't even respond on here, please, because I will block you. And I'm thinking about. I'm going to really start doing that from now on. If it has nothing to do with the with what I'm talking about, okay. I'm fine, Katie. Thank you. All right. Yeah, you know, we got the usual wise guys out there, some people tonight, but anyway. All right. So Pennsylvania now doesn't have a budget. We're going on 4 months now since this budget was supposed to be passed, and we're still sitting there playing around with it because Josh Shapiro screwed the Republicans out of education. He promised them. And now the Republicans are doing what the Democrats are doing in the federal end and holding things up. Okay? Why can't we just all get along? Here's another classic example of this. All right? Why can't we just all get along? What's the problem here? All right? Because you know why we can't get along? Because people are jealous of people. People are this, people are that, you know? And it's the truth. All right? I got some emails this week. Yeah, that's the way I see it tonight about the state budget in Pennsylvania. All right? Now I'm going to ask this question in Maryland. What do you have against handicapped people? I go into businesses, and I'm going to say, shout out some businesses that need to do this. Wawa, which happens to be the convenience store down here, other than Sheetz in the upper part of Maryland towards Pennsylvania. But on the shore here, Wawa's the thing. They have no automatic door to go in and out for a handicapped person. People have to hold the door open for me. Walmart has them. The Food Line has it, but Wawa does not. There's a lot of businesses in this town, and not just here, but everywhere else in most of Maryland that I've been to so far, where I've been. They have no respect for handicapped people. I was in Delaware yesterday. We were killing some time because we like to go, my mom, my wife, and I, we like to go to the bonfire. It's our favorite place to eat. Why? Number one, it's all you can eat. Number two, we don't have to wait for our food. Number three, they have some good food and all you can eat crab legs. Very good food. Okay? So they opened at 4:00. We left early. Didn't feel like messing around with all that traffic around rush hour, which is like 4 to 6. Well, to this day, I still don't understand why people call it hour. It's not hour, it's hours. Okay? Rush hours, not hour. It's not an hour, it's 2 hours. Sometimes 3 hours, rush hours. So anyway, getting back to this, I pull up at this country store, nice country store, nice place in Fenway, Delaware. No real handicap accessibility, no ramp, no anything. I had to go up on I had to go up a small little bump to get up on the sidewalk. I don't care, but I shouldn't have to do that. There should already be a slanted ramp there enough for me to get in and out, and the door. Okay? All right? That's number one. No push button door openers in too many places. I don't know if they're expensive. I don't know if they are not required to have them. But here we are. Here we are yet again. We're discriminating against handicapped people by not having the proper necessities at a business. Now, my question to all of you out there, I'm new to Maryland. All right. I've only been here since May of this year. I want you to tell me, is it the law or the laws that lax for handicapped people here? Or you probably wouldn't know because you probably don't see too many handicapped people around here. All right. So my question to you is that the case? All right. And I want to tell you something else that's really stupid. I haven't been able to get my new Maryland license yet. Number one, because of my eye. Number two, because of a situation with my birth certificate. Okay. So I can't get insurance down here. I have my insurance from Pennsylvania still. So I have to go see a specialist, a wound care specialist, where I have wounds on my legs, varicose veins that runs in my family. All right. I get a phone call from the billing department or some kind of department here of Atlantic General Hospital, who's telling me, and that's the main hospital down here now, them and Title and Atlantic General are supposed to be merging. That hasn't happened yet, but it's in the works. They may have already done it. I'm not real sure. I heard some stories about it, but nothing has been solved. All right. So I then go ahead and I said to this lady, well, what can I do for you? And she goes, well, you can't come to our office no more. I said, why not? You don't have insurance. Well, wait, hold on. I said it was a self-pay. I get that. We don't take Medicaid. That's another problem down here. I get that. Everybody in this state here, they all want their money right now. I can't get my van fixed with CarShield or any of those things because all the shops down here don't want to take it. I don't know if it's laziness. I don't know if they want their money right away. I don't know if CarShield makes people wait. I've been told some stories about that. You want me to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly of Maryland? I'll do that. The good is I can smoke marijuana down here for my health, and I don't have to go through all kinds of hoops like I do up in Pennsylvania. I just walk into the distillery, show my ID, show my card, boom, I'm ready to go. They hand me my stuff and I leave. No taxes either. You get it? All right, gas is cheaper down here. The road system's better down here. Safety down here. The salt or the ocean air has helped me out. I've lost weight. My diabetes is better. I don't have the stress that I had up in Pittsburgh. That's the good. The bad, what I just talked to you about. Handicap accessibility in some of these places, and a lot of these places. To me, that's discrimination. I should call Americans for Disabilities, and I probably plan on doing that. Oh, Ralph, don't do that, because then you have to pay more money, and then they might go out of business. No, it's called disrespect for the handicap, just like the insurance thing I talked about before, months ago. I'm not going to go into that because I couldn't get an insurance person to come on here and tell me what's going on. Okay? And then, of course, you're all going to sit there and go, oh, well, you got to understand their thing. No, I don't understand their thing. I don't. I just don't. I don't understand because they don't understand. You don't understand that I'm handicapped. You don't understand the insurance on my house. You don't understand that I need my driver's license and you're giving me a hard time about a birth certificate. You don't understand that there's just a lot of things down here that are what they are. All right. The weather's not as bad. I already looked at the extended forecast for the winter this year. 50 degrees all the way till the end of December. And it gets cold for throughout January, maybe. 40, 50 degrees, maybe rain, a little bit of snow, a dusting here, a dusting there. Nothing like that big snowstorm they had a while back. I'll take that. It's better than being 20 below zero in Pittsburgh, and I got to wear 600 layers of coats, and I didn't go out in that stuff anyway. I stocked up for the winter and stayed home. All right. But let me ask you another question. Now, barring the fact that you have to go to work, that I get. Barring the fact you have to go to school, that I get. Barring the fact that you have to go somewhere and you need to be there, that I get. But if you absolutely don't need to go anyplace and you were told that you had to stay home, would you? And you're probably going to sit there and say to me, well, I'm jealous because you go in and out. No, I'm smart. When it's cold like that, 20 below zero, I know go out. I stock up on food. I stock up on toilet paper. I stock up on paper towels. I stock up on everything else. Okay? I'm always a plan A, B, or C ahead of everything. Are you? That's my question tonight. Are you? No, you're not. You're too busy worrying about TikTok. You're too busy worrying about whatever. Your mind doesn't get it. I got these punk kids laughing at me because I have to wear sunglasses. Well, my doctor prescribed them to me. Now that my eye is starting to get a little bit better, I'm allowed to take them off now. The light's not so bad at times. But there's times when my eyesight is not that great, and I need to wear those glasses to keep the light out because the bright light gets to my eyes. That's because of my cataracts and this Three's palsy I have. And you're going to laugh at me because I'm wearing sunglasses and it's a gloomy day outside. But still, I have issues with my eyes. Okay? It goes back to what I said on Ralph's Opinion Show. It's about parenting. Okay? All right? People were nice down here. Nicer than up in Pittsburgh. And everyone's, oh, Ralph, yeah, Pittsburgh's nice people up there. Man. Oh. No, it's not. Not anymore. Not anymore. I was talking to my radio co-host, Tony Moreno, today. We were having a conversation. You know what he said to me? He said, Pittsburgh used to be a great special place. And I said at one time, many years ago in the early 90s, Pittsburgh used to be called someplace special. Not anymore. Not anymore. Okay. All right. So you think about that for a second in your town. Now, President Trump, and we'll talk a little bit about that here because we do talk some general topics here as well. And I forgot to bring this up earlier for the good, the bad, and the ugly of Trump. The National Guard stuff. Now they're in Portland, or going to be in Portland. Who's he attacking next? Baltimore, Chicago, Washington, D.C., Portland, Oregon. Who's next? Milwaukee, maybe? Detroit? I don't know. But if these progressives would have stayed out of the, quit defunding the police and whatnot, and letting criminals run all over the place because they don't, magistrates, district justices and judges who are progressives don't agree on the fact that, no bail, just let every murderer out and run all over the place and make law enforcement do double work because you don't like law enforcement. You don't respect anybody. Okay? So take a look at that tonight in your town. Take a look at the fact that you see somebody like me in a wheelchair. You hold the door open for him. Do you park your car? When I was at that country store, some meathead decided to park their damn car right next to where my ramp comes out in my van. And I was in a handicap spot. And you know what it says on my van? I have a really big sign that it's so big that, Stevie Wonder could see it. All right, Ray Charles or somebody, one of them can see it. Okay? Simple fact of the matter is that a meathead, a dummy. Okay? That's where we are today. Here, I got to sound the alarm. Why? Because the alarm needs to be sound because you have no respect. A big sign on the side of my van that says, and I quote, Please leave space for ramp to deploy. And you park so close to my ramp that I can't even get in. And then you come outside to move your car, and what do? You cop an attitude with me. You cop an attitude. Really? You give me an attitude. No respect for handicapped people. None. None. No respect. I've never seen what I've seen today. Years ago, this happened about 3 years ago, maybe, somewhere in there. I was at a Golden Corral out in the outskirts of Pittsburgh. I had my Compass at the time. I did not have my wheelchair van. So, park my Compass. My wife gets my wheelchair out for me. We go in to eat. Some knucklehead, some young girl, parks her car right next to the passenger side of my Compass, and my wife can't get in. Okay? And I'm talking about real close. And this was a handicap spot that she couldn't get in on the passenger side. So, they come out, and it happens every time. Every time I call the police on somebody who doesn't have handicap credentials, is parked in a handicap spot, all of a sudden they show up and come out. It happens every time. I stopped doing it because it happens all the time. Okay? Parked in a handicap spot right next. So the lady was elderly. I get that. But to park next to my vehicle and block in the passenger side was wrong. And this elderly lady comes out, and she's African American, and she says to us, "Oh, it's Black History Month. You're supposed to give in to us." Really? Is that the attitude you're going to give me? What are you, in your 70s or 80s? Are you for real, lady? I'm not afraid to say what I need to say. And I want everyone to know that. I have a couple of announcements to make here. As you know, the triple header of Ralph Williams Saturday is back. Last week, I was not on because I was traveling home from Pittsburgh to come back down here to Ocean City. We start off with the Ralph Williams Tony Moreno show on 1250 AM The Answer, 92.5 on the FM dial. And on the 1250 The Answer PGH.com, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. We have a lot to talk about, mostly topics in Western Pennsylvania and in the city of Pittsburgh. And then at 10 a.m., and I'm going to put this up because for some strange reason I misplaced the banner and I wanted to post here to show you, but that's fine. I'll go with this instead. This is my daily schedule of when my shows are on. Saturday, the college football show. 10 a.m. It's new. It's debuts this Saturday, 10 a.m. With me, Ralph Williams, Leo Haggerty, Pensman Sports, and Brian Pettit. Next week, Smokin' Jim Frazier will join us next Saturday. All right. My co-host on the Sports Corner show. Take a look at the schedule here. You will see that there it is. And then also we do a post-game show. Pensman and I. Don't forget Tuesday, Sports Corner show, the Wrestle Talk show, 4 and 5 o'clock on all shows, as you see at the bottom here, are all listed there. The social media platforms. Wednesday, but I moved it to Thursday this week because of my birthday yesterday. Ralph's Opinion, the Way I See It show. All right. And then Saturday is the triple header of Ralph Williams Saturday. And it starts, as I mentioned, with the Ralph Williams, Tony Moreno show. And then we go into the college football show at 10 a.m. And the college football show is intertwined with the Saturday sports show. What I mean is we're going to do this for the season of college football all the way until all the Bulls are satisfied. and then we're gonna go back into the Saturday sports show. All right. So until the end of the college football, it's going to be the college football show. There's a lot of people out there that talk NFL. I do a post game show. So during the football season, when the NFL and the and college is going on, we have that going on. And like Bill Murray said in Caddyshack, I got that going for him, which is nice. Okay. And I want to tell you about the Sports Corner radio show, which is, if I can find it here, there we go. Every Tuesday, or I'm sorry, not every Tuesday, every Saturday, 2 to 3 p.m., 1250 The Answer, 92.5 on the FM dial, 1250 a.m. and 1250 The Answer, pgh.com. Ralph Williams, Smoking, Jim Frazier, Claudia Rosano, and Luther Dupree. We talk a big time about the Steeler-Minnesota game. They're off this week, the Steelers, so there'll be no post-game show. But I have some plans of possibly Pensman Sports, Brian Pettit, and myself, and we're planning on possibly doing an NFL show this week. We're going to talk about all the NFL games that went on throughout the day. All right, that's a possibility. We don't know yet. We might take the week off just to unwind and get ready for next week when the Steelers play the Cleveland Browns. We'll talk about that on Saturday, 2 p.m., the Sports Corner radio show. All right. I've mentioned many times in the last few weeks that I now have a radio agent. And my radio agent is working on getting Ralph Williams, Tony Moreno show on Pittsburgh 620 AM WKHB. It's coming. We're going to be on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, as well as Saturday on 1250 The Answer. I told everybody, I warned everybody, and I said it to everybody, that Ralph Williams was going to get his just due from being treated like a redheaded stepchild by the Pittsburgh media. All right. My radio agent is working on getting, as soon as he's finished with this project, he's working on getting my Ralph's Opinion show, which then, if it goes syndicated, it will be Ralph's Opinion only. All right. I'm working on getting on Spreaker Radio, which is an internet radio station. I'm working on getting on there. I'm going to pick a show, and it could be this one, and we might go on there. And what I might do is keep the way I see it here and move Ralph's Opinion to there. See what I'm getting at? I might do that and go back to 1 hour on each show. We'll see. All right. See what happens. I'm willing to work with it. All right. I don't want to stretch myself too thin. I have health issues I have to work with. And I'm trying to do, sometimes I do too much and then I get burned out. And I don't need to do that. All right. I want to have a life like everybody else. So, all right. That tonight, the way I see it. Until next week, and we'll be back on Wednesday next week, unless barring any other situations. I'm Ralph Williams. Thanks for watching. Have yourself a great night, and by all means, please be safe. Thank you.